Welcome to the final showcase of the final main character of my universe. This is Roan Bar-Josis, the Kind One, Executor of the Vineyard. Now, a lot of fluff, but let's get down to who he is. What I would like to describe him as is we follow him for a good chunk of his life, but when we first meet him, he is a older young man. Not like a boy, but not quite old enough to do his own thing, but he's older. Think probably like late teens, maybe. So, and he is, on his world, would be the equivalent of a shepherd. I haven't nailed down some of the details, but they're not sheep that he's herding, but same kind of concept. So, and his name Roan in their culture means kind one. So that gives you an idea of kind of who he is. Now, as far as what he will be, is, and might become, is a combination of two characters. At least I'm focusing on some of the attributes of these two characters. You may have heard of them. One, imagine a combination of Kaladin Stormblessed, and two, of Paul Atreides, Duke of Arrakis. So, one of the reasons I want to focus on these characters is because I want the aspects taking a little bit of how Kaladin is specifically, I got my notes, let me bring it up here real quick. With Kaladin's desire to protect and potentially have a tendency to grow dark, if that makes sense. If you've read the Stormlight Archive, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. And Paul Atreides, with his sense of duty to do what is right, as well as to fulfill his obligations in life to the utmost capacity, and to do what is right, and to right any wrong. There we go. That's the way I wanted to say that. So, initially, this is also he has a bit of a timid nature. So, that goes away very quickly with many of the events that lead up to the main part of the story with him, because his story is the fulcrum, is the focus of everything that comes before it. He is very much put through a lot of change, if that makes sense. So, as far as his capacity, I don't want to go too much into detail. Some of it's going to be spoilery, so don't want to do that. Suffice it to say, he has been given two main abilities, two main gifts. One is a very, very special gift to undo things. I will leave it at that. Which also, by the way, makes him the target of many, many, many people and beings in my universe. Second ability, which is far more nuanced, but pretty dang cool, as he has the capacity to learn any form of magic within my universe. So long as he understands it, has the intention, and really tries very hard to use it. So that will be something he has to overcome, but something that is very beneficial for him later, because he gets to go to a lot of places and learn lots of things, if that makes sense. So, okay, let's see. One thing that I also want that to be included with his ability to use magic everywhere, it helps him to connect to people, both literally and figuratively. So, could be related to being able to actually speak with people in their language and them hear their language from him. A little bit like Connection from the Cosmere, just a little bit, but it is very unique to him. This is not normal. This is not nomenclature in my universe, if that makes sense. So, but yes, it makes him very, very relatable to lots of people because he can connect to them emotionally as well. Okay, so, empathetic, etc., etc. Okay. There will probably be some more details that I will bring up with him at a later date as more of him is solidified over time. This will be likely the last thing I do. I may write some things involving Rowan's story throughout the rest of my works. He may make slight appearances or referenced somewhat in later portions of some of the stories of my other main characters, but in general, the bulk of what we see of him will be very little. Maybe we'll set up some stuff near the end of some of these stories to really get people excited and hyped for this last stretch of the universe, the cornerstone of this world, this universe. So, okay. Now, like every good hero, there is always going to be a fatal flaw, as some professionally trained writers may have heard, as far as looking at different stories and different cultures, especially within Greek and Roman storytelling and philosophy. The fatal flaw the hero has. For him, it is his anger. He has an incredibly violent nature that he has to try very hard to keep down. If anyone's familiar with the Dungeon Crawler Carl series, by the way, fantastic series. It's kind of intense, pretty explicit in a lot of ways, so be warned. But it's really good. Some dang good emotional moments in Dungeon Crawler Carl. If you've read that series, you will understand when I say this, that he has anger problems similar to what Carl experiences throughout the books, and that is very often described, the imagery of that anger within Carl as a river that's constantly roaring, that changes in loudness inside of him and it flows within him. It's probably going to be a pretty similar description of what Roan has to deal with. However, he has gotten pretty dang good at controlling it because of the intensity to which his anger explodes outward. There will be some situations that comes up, including the one that sets off pretty much the entire final series, which is very important. To give a bit of a description of that, which is kind of the inciting incident for Roan. As he's tending to his flock, from the sky descends one of the heavenly and celestial beings, or dragons, an Amalkin is what they are called, the Hand of Averor. It descends to destroy his world, and his anger overflows and potentially unmakes something very powerful. Anyway, all unintentionally, by the way. I'm really excited for this series, and it is a bit of a shame that it's far off, but you know what? I want to make sure that all the seeds have been planted in preparation for that harvest, because it's going to be fun. So thank you guys so much. I hope hearing more about Roan Bar-Josus is a little more interesting and excites you guys for all the things to come. Now, before I continue on this last little bit, comment, like, and subscribe if you're liking these character showcases. I'm trying to make them really, really just genuine and me talking about these characters that I am enjoying creating. Go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you, thank you. Now, final thought. We have officially finished the main characters. The aspect, the apex viewpoints in each of my works. They have the 5 original origin stories that then move into the final core series, the main event with Roan. So that's the 6 main characters. Now, I got a lot of other characters to share. Some of them are pretty dang awesome and pretty dang powerful, that play a massive, major role in all the events. Because, of course, the main characters can't do it alone. Of course not. So let's look at some of those other characters in the coming months, because I got a long list of characters that I really, really would love to share with you guys. Some of them that I've got some pretty amazing things planned for and some pretty tragic things planned for. Right now, I think that list is at least 25 so far, which of course there's more, but that's the list I have currently of characters that will get quite a bit of screen time per se. So thank you guys so much. if you're liking this, please let me know. Engagement's super helpful for telling me what I need to do to help you guys be more excited. Are you not entertained? Anyway, thank you guys so much. Now don't forget, there are no bad ideas, just unfinished ones. Take care.